forgive someone who hurt you, someone who mistreated you, a partner who left without thinking about your feelings, a parent who abandoned you, a friend who betrayed you? How do you forgive a person that did you wrong? For what I have learned, the only thing that you need to forgive a person is to see that person with compassion, to change the perspective of the person. Because when you are looking at a parent who abandoned you and then come back and you see how can I forgive this person for that he or she did, is to look at that person not as your parent. Because as your parent, you are holding on to much resentment. So as your parent, if you look at that person as a mom and a dad, you are not going to be able to transcend the resentment and to transcend the feeling that that person responsibility was to take care of you, and that person did it and didn't fulfill that responsibility. So when you change the perspective on the person, when you look at the person with compassion, what is compassion? To look at the person for who he or she is, and not for the ideal of or the expectation we have about the person. With our parents, we have the expectations that they have to be loving and they have to take care of us and they have to fulfill some certain things in order to be good parents. With a partner, the same thing. We have the expectation that our partner has to be loving, have to be caring, needs to be, always in tune with our emotions and our situations. So those are our expectations, what we expect of the person. But to forgive someone who did you wrong or who hurt you, you need to see the person for who he or she is as a human. So if you have a partner, a boyfriend, girlfriend, a husband, wife, who did you wrong, who mistreated you, who hurt you, who left without explanation or without even care, you need to look at this person as a human being. Not as the person you love, not as the person you have an ideal with, or who has to fulfill certain things to make you happy. You need to look at this person with compassion and to look at the human in that person. When you see the human in the person, then you start to see the wounds, the traumas, the scar this person has from their childhoods, from the adolescence, from experiences that person have had in the past that have built this kind of personality, fears, insecurities into that person. So that will make easier for you to see this person not as the ideal that you have, not as the person who you wanted to spend your life with, not as the person who was supposed to love you. No, this is a human being. So why is this person acting this way? Why is this person projecting everything or all of this on me that is hurting me? So when you start to see the other, even your parents, as humans, not with expectations or ideals, it is easier for you to feel compassionate with the person. Because you say, well, this person was mistreated when it was a child. My parents didn't receive love from their parents. They were rejected. They didn't have a good relationship with their parents. They never knew their parents. Someone bullied them when they were kids. So when you start seeing all the wounds that the person have, everything that is not allowing the other person to connect or to do certain things as you expect, you have to look at the other with compassion. How do you have compassion? When you change the perspective and start to see the other as one with you. So you say, well, I do have traumas. Things happened to me in the past when I was a kid. And I understand how it's to feel insecure, or how it's to be scared, or being hurt, or not to be loved. You know? So this is how if you do this, if you practice this, to see the other, like in this exact moment, you can visualize that person. You can see that person in front of you. You can visualize that person, and you can start seeing that person as a human, as that person, even if it's not physically there. But try to perceive with your intuition what is the wounds, or which are the wounds, the traumas that this person had in the past that build this kind of personality in this person. Probably you feel that your parents, your mom, your dad, they weren't good parents. They weren't there when they should, they were supposed to be there for you. But put yourself in their shoes. What happened to them in the past? Which are those fears that they have? They are humans, they are people, they are persons. The same fears that you have, they have it too. They are not superhuman, not with superpowers. When you become a parent, you keep being an individual with fears, with problems, with insecurities, with ups and downs. Everything remains the same. It is a choice that you make every day, and you put yourself above everything that you have as an individual to give the best to your kids. But not everyone has the capacity to do that. So look at this person, visualize this person in front of you, and try to perceive the wounds that person has, the suffering of that person, the traumas of that person, the insecurities of that person. Don't look at it as the men of your dreams. They are not men of our dreams. There are people who we choose to share our life with. It's a decision every day to make the same decision, to love and be with a person, but there is no ideal person. The ideal person is a construction we do in our minds that is not realistic. So that is why we mostly get disappointed and we suffer so much, because we live based in ideals of others. We don't see others as they are. We idealize other people. So do this exercise. Take a moment, visualize this person in front of you, and perceive why this person is like this, or has this personality, or acted this way, or did this to you. What is that person reflecting from their insight that caused you the suffering and the pain? When you change the perspective about the person, you start feeling compassion for the human, for the soul that is equal to you. And then you can forgive, truly forgive, and understand and say, yes, it hurt me, but I understand and I forgive you, because I know you are suffering too. Because I know this is a reflection of your own wounds, of your own insecurities, and of your own traumas and pain that you are undergoing within. So when you do this, you truly forgive the other person. And you start seeing, because sometimes we say we forgive, but we keep having this anger and this resentment with the person, and that is not forgiveness. Forgiveness is the capacity to have compassion for the person who hurt you and to understand why the person did what it did. So when you reach this point, then you have forgive and you free yourself from the resentment, the anger, the blockage that this energy is causing you. You free yourself and you free the other person. So it is not something that you do for the other person, it's something that you do for yourself. It is time to start seeing others with compassion, because each and every one of us is here to learn, and we are all going through situations that cause us fear, that cause us insecurities. So compassion is the key to forgive the person who hurt you.